The F-22 Raptor is a machine built for dominance. But could it rewrite history at Pearl Harbor? From its Mach 1.5 speed to its radar-guided missiles, every advantage is stacked against the Japanese. Yet, with no supply lines or support, this technological titan might be doomed from the start. What unfolds when unmatched power meets impossible odds? The F-22 Raptor doesn't just fly, it redefines what speed means in combat. While the Japanese Zero fighters strain to reach 330 miles per hour, the Raptor cruises effortlessly at Mach 1.5, over 1,100 miles per hour. That's faster than any propeller-driven aircraft could dream of going. Picture this: a Zero pilot spots a speck in the distance. Before he can radio a warning, the F-22 has already closed the gap, fired a missile, and vanished. In a dogfight, speed is life. The F-22 could crisscross the entire Pearl Harbor attack zone in minutes, hitting targets from one end to the other before the Japanese even knew what was happening. A Zero's top speed is like a bicycle racing a bullet train. Even if they saw the Raptor coming, which they wouldn't, their planes couldn't outrun it, outclimb it, or outmaneuver it. The physics just don't work. Here's the problem for the Japanese. Their tactics relied on close-range dogfighting. They trained to outturn enemies, dodge bullets, and line up precise shots. But the F-22 doesn't dogfight. It doesn't need to. At those speeds, it can decide when and where to engage, or just leave. A Zero's engine redlines trying to keep up while the Raptor's afterburners kick in without breaking a sweat. And it's not just raw speed. The F-22's acceleration changes everything. A Zero takes minutes to reach its max speed. The Raptor can go from cruising to Mach 1.8 in seconds. That means even if a Japanese pilot somehow got a lucky shot lined up, the jet could be gone before they pulled the trigger. The difference isn't just noticeable, it's total domination. But here's the real kicker. The F-22 doesn't just move fast, it thinks fast. Its onboard computers calculate firing solutions before the pilot even sees the target. While World War II pilots eyeballed distances and adjusted for wind, the Raptor's systems do all that instantly. Speed isn't just about how fast you fly, it's about how fast you react. And in that race, the Zero doesn't stand a chance. Yet speed alone doesn't win battles. The F-22 could run circles around the Japanese fleet, but sheer velocity has limits. It doesn't matter how fast you are if you run out of fuel or ammo, and that's where things get complicated. But before we get to that, there's another advantage to talk about, one that makes the speed even deadlier. When it comes to weapons, the difference is night and day. Japanese pilots in 1941 relied on iron sights and steady nerves, closing into a few hundred yards before firing machine guns or cannons. The F-22, on the other hand, can lock onto targets from over 50 miles away with AIM-120 AMRAAM missiles. That means the Raptor can destroy enemy planes before they even know it's in the sky. For the Nakajima B-5N torpedo bombers, which have to fly low and straight to make their attack runs, this is a death sentence. They become easy targets, picked off long before reaching their release points. Manual aiming was all about skill, judging distance, adjusting for wind, and hoping your guns hit something vital. The Raptor's radar does all of that instantly. It tracks dozens of aircraft at once and assigns missiles before the pilot even sees a blip. One missile can wipe out a tight formation, and there's no warning, no tracers, no dogfight, just sudden destruction. The Japanese would be fighting an enemy they can't see, can't hear, and can't outmaneuver. Watching wingmen vanish into fireballs with no warning would shred morale in seconds. So if Japanese pilots saw nothing, could any twist or turn save them? The answer is no. Here's why. Evasive maneuvers that worked against machine gun fire are useless against a radar-guided missile. The AMRAAM tracks its target, corrects its path faster than any human could react, and explodes with a kill radius that can shred a fragile World War II airframe even on a near miss. Even if a pilot spotted a missile, the Zero or B-5N just doesn't have the speed or agility to escape. On paper, the F-22's payload seems limited, 8 air-to-air missiles, but in this scenario, one missile is usually one kill. The first wave of the Japanese attack had about 180 planes. The Raptor can't shoot them all down, but it can tear a hole in the formation and scatter the rest. Japanese commanders would have no idea what hit them. They might guess it's a new American secret weapon, but they'd never see the jet itself. Radar is the great equalizer. While Japanese spotters scan the sky with binoculars, hoping to catch a glimpse of something out of place, the F-22 is already tracking, targeting, and firing. The Japanese would be left chasing ghosts, trying to fight back against an enemy that strikes from nowhere. But there's another factor that pushes the F-22's advantage even further: one that makes it nearly impossible for the Japanese to mount any kind of defense. Stealth is what turns the F-22 from a fast predator into an invisible one. In 1941, radar was primitive, designed to spot big groups of planes at low resolution and often missing single aircraft entirely. The Raptor's design shrinks its radar cross-section to the size of a bird, so Japanese operators would see nothing on their screens even as the jet closed in at over 1,000 miles per hour. Spotters on the ground would scan the sky and find only empty blue, missing a jet that could be right overhead. The first clue that something is wrong might be a sudden explosion in a formation with no enemy in sight. Yet no coding is foolproof. Hit by concentrated flak, it might still be traced. The F-22's angular design scatters radar waves, making it nearly untrackable. High up, it blends with the sky. Low down, it's gone before anyone spots it. Zero pilots hear panicked radio calls about invisible attackers as their squadron vanishes, one by one. To them, it's like fighting ghosts. World War II anti-aircraft guns are useless. Flak predicts slow bombers, not a jet, outpacing calculations. Machine gunners fire at empty air. The Raptor's already miles away. A lucky hit might connect, but it's pure chance, not skill. Stealth lets the F-22 choose its fights. It strikes from beyond missile range and vanishes. Its sensors map the battle, while Japanese pilots guess blindly. Commanders see no planes on radar, no attacker in sight, just chaos as formations crumble. They might blame ground fire or friendly mistakes, unable to counter an unseen foe. Stealth isn't flawless. Sunlight on the canopy or contrails could betray the jet. Enough guns firing blindly might score a hit. But against 1941 tech, these are minor risks. The Raptor's gone before gunners react. The psychological toll is brutal. Pilots watching wingmen vanish panic. Radio discipline collapses, and the attack falters. The F-22 turns order into chaos in minutes. Yet, stealth can't solve everything. The Raptor fights not just the Japanese, but its own limits, fuel, ammo, and maintenance it can't get in 1941. There's one problem the F-22 can't outfly: support. The jet's biggest vulnerability isn't enemy fire, it's what it needs to keep running. The Raptor relies on JP-8 jet fuel, a modern military-grade blend that doesn't exist in 1941. Without JP-8, the F-22 is grounded. Even if someone tried to fuel it with World War II aviation gasoline, the risk of contamination would cripple its engines. This isn't a machine you can top off with whatever's around. It's a precision tool that demands a specific supply chain. Once that initial tank runs dry, the Raptor is finished. Ammunition is just as limiting. The F-22 carries 8 AIM-120 missiles, each packed with electronics and guidance systems that 1940s technology can't duplicate or reload. Remember, 353 Japanese planes attacked Pearl Harbor. Even if every missile finds its mark, that leaves hundreds of enemy aircraft still coming. After the missiles are gone, the Raptor's only weapon is its 20mm cannon, with 480 rounds, enough for a few short bursts, not a prolonged battle. Unlike World War II fighters, which could rearm on the spot, the F-22 needs specialized equipment and trained crews just to reload a missile or service its systems. None of that exists in 1941 Hawaii. Maintenance is another wall. Every hour in the air means hours of checks, repairs, and sensor calibrations. The F-22 needs climate-controlled hangars, diagnostic computers, and a team of technicians. In the heat and humidity of Hawaii, with only hand tools and basic workshops, keeping the jet operational is almost impossible. Even minor damage, a stray bullet or rough landing, could ground it for good. The scale of the attack only makes things worse. The Japanese planned their assault to overwhelm defenders from every direction. The harbor covers nearly 10 square miles. While the Raptor is chasing bombers in one sector, torpedo planes can slip through somewhere else. No amount of speed or radar can put the F-22 everywhere at once. So the Achilles heel isn't a flaw in design. It's the gap between what the jet can do and what the world around it allows. One jet, no support, and a sky full of enemies. The Raptor can change the outcome for a moment, but it can't hold the line forever. This is where the limits of technology meet the reality of war. The F-22 would devastate Japan's attack for about 30 minutes. Its speed and missiles could shred a dozen Zeros before they realize what hit them. But fuel and ammo limits mean it can't stop all 353 planes. This shows how air combat evolved from visual dogfights to beyond visual range kills. One modern jet makes World War II tactics look prehistoric. But wars aren't won by single wonder weapons. So what if we dropped an Abrams tank at Waterloo, or a nuclear sub into World War II? Technology gaps rewrite battles, but logistics win wars. The F-22 at Pearl Harbor proves both concepts in one scenario. Where else could tech change history?